you kidding me?
Here's a shot that I believe they score!
And now switches hands. He scores!
Oh my goodness!
The Halifax Thunderbirds can clinch the playoffs with a win tonight. They travel to the New York Riptide, who hope to keep their playoff dreams alive. A big-time East Conference battle is next. Tonight, it's the penultimate regular season games for two teams with the NLL playoffs around the corner. From the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, the Halifax Thunderbirds square off against the New York Riptide. Here's the chase for the championship. 5 of the 8 teams in the playoff bracket have clinched a postseason spot. Halifax can earn a playoff berth with a win tonight or a Panther City loss to Georgia. New York must prevail at home to keep its chances alive. The Thunderbirds are looking for more consistency between the righties and the lefties. They have dropped 6 of the last 7 games and are coming off a 15-7 loss to Toronto. On the other side, the Riptide have been on a tear. New York has taken 4 of the last 6, including the last 2 wins over Buffalo and Rochester. And with that, welcome to Nassau Coliseum. I'm Dave Leno. Peter Shorts will join us in just a bit. Mitch Blisle and Ellie Melendez are on other assignments tonight. Halifax has lost 6 of the last 7 games. Their last win, you got to go all the way back 3 games ago. It's Rochester. They want more consistency out the offensive door, but they want to dominate the transition game tonight. On the flip side for the New York Riptide, last game they were marvelous on the power play, scored 5 of 6 goals in man-up situations, getting some great goaltending out of Steve Orleman, and their defenders have really stepped up. Among them, Brent Noseworthy did a remarkable job against Ryan Smith last game. One of the reasons why New York has stood out this season is the play of Rookie of the Year candidate Jeff Teat, who is 3 points away from breaking the single-season rookie point total. He's got 93 points right now, and he's rejoined by Caleb Crawford, who's missed the last 3 games. Remarkably, Crawford is still one of the league leaders in points with 77, and we'll see how the ball is distributed between Teat and Crawford back on the floor together. For Halifax, Sean Evans returns to the lineup after missing last game against Toronto. Tonight is his 6th game with the Thunderbirds. He's got 4 goals and 14 assists with his new team since the trade from Rochester. He'll work in the offensive zone with Clark Peterson, who's been putting up great numbers. He's registered 7 goals in the last 4 contests, and will look for Cody Jamieson to set the tone up top amid Steve Orleman and the Riptide defense tonight. This evening, it's a win and you're in for Halifax, looking to hand New York its 11th loss, while the Riptide eye 3 straight wins to take their playoff chances to Albany next week. The face-off between the Thunderbirds and the Riptide is coming up next.
What is belief? Nathan McKinnon? At 14, he wasn't wishing he'd make it to the NHL. He believed that he would. So while other kids were playing video games, he was putting in the work to make his dream come true. Guaranteed Rate believes in your dreams. That's why we treat everyone like we treat our own family and work extra hard to get you the lowest low rate possible. Because if you believe, you will.
Let's show the world what it means to be a fan. The world's largest collection of fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah! Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Come on.
Our guaranteed rate starting goaltenders. We begin with New York Steve Orleman. Coach Dan Ladouceur said he's been a calming presence in the crease. Orleman made 36 saves last game against Rochester, and he and his D guys look for a repeat performance tonight against Halifax. See those numbers there at 11 and 57 with that goals against average. The opposite cage, it will be Aaron Bolt starting tonight over Warren Hill. This will be his 5th game of the season. The veteran played against Toronto last week. In fact, he allowed 7 goals in 39 minutes. Downstairs to Peter Schwartz with Sean Evans. Peter.
Well, Sean, obviously a huge game for your team tonight, a chance to punch your ticket to the playoffs. Tell me a little bit about the mindset coming into this one.
Yeah, we just got to play a little bit of urgency, play for each other, and, get back on track. Set hard picks and put the ball in the net.
And how about this New York team also alive for a playoff spot? What's the challenge in facing the Riptide tonight?
They're going to be a good team. We just got to outwork them.
Thanks. Enjoy.
Peter, thank you very much. The crew chief is Ian Garrison. The assistant referees, Josh Hiltz and Justin Kitashima. The shot clock operator tonight is Mark Hess. New York is in blue. Halifax on the road is in white. Tonight's opening faceoff is brought to you by BetMGM. Be taken between Jake Withers, who leads the NLL in faceoff win percentage, eclipsing 71%, and he'll duel against Jay Thornburg, who's 5th in the league with a 56.5 faceoff win percentage. As the ball teams are out there, it's the first of 2 meetings. And we're underway here from Nassau Coliseum as Aaron Bolt squeezes that. These teams last met each other on February 4th. Halifax won 13-10 in Hamilton amid no fans in that contest. Well, Halifax looks to right the ship here. They have lost their last 2 games, and as we stated at the top of the broadcast, they have dropped 6 of the last 7, but they're in a win and in situation in the playoffs. That goes into the netting. We'll go back to New York. Here's the lines tonight. Halifax come in as the slight favorite, but see that over-under totals lately. It's been over with New York playing at home. There's an illegal pick there as Gillies went down to the floor, and possession will go back to this Halifax team. Goals per game have been just slightly above 10 and looking for more, led by their head coach in Micah Kersey. Let's see if they get it tonight. Dawson Feed, we should mention, is out in this game on the IR after the lineups were released tonight. Orleman behind the back, and here comes New York the opposite way. New York is 6-10. Remarkably for the Riptide, if they win, they keep their playoff hopes alive going into the Albany game. Here's Jeff Teat getting an early seal by Ron John. Teat on the opposite side of the floor, working with Kieran Digby, trying to set the seals. Teat yet again 3 points away from setting that rookie record there. Bell with a good forecheck there, and possession going to go back to Halifax. Halifax enters play tonight at 9-7, coming off that 8-goal loss at Toronto. Lost some close games, and injury bug has bit their team a little bit this year, but looking for a much better performance, and kind of mirroring with the start that they had this year. Evans shovels that over. The shot is denied there by Orleman. Only chance for Stephen Keogh, but he can't get on the sheet, and over to Brent Noseworthy. In fact, Halifax started out the year 8-1 and have since dropped 6 of the last 7. See how they do tonight. Larson Sundown is back active for the Riptide as well, running the middle. Here's Lobos on the outside and scores! He beats ball there to that corner, and it's 1-0 Riptide. Lomas has been a healthy addition to the New York Riptide since rupturing his Achilles, and back for his 2nd year with the Riptide. See him very adept with his outside shooting in year 1 and doing it here amid 2. And scores. Barclays, you see there, is playing his 5th game activated for a Kersey's team. And he beats Bold for the game's first score. It's his 11th goal this season for Lomas and New York. New York has actually been very good in first quarters, which you could say for the start of the season. In first quarter performances this year, they have now outscored opponents, including that goal by Lomas, 11-1. Only chance for Peterson, inside denied by Borgatti, who's been fantastic in his season with the Riptide. It's actually been a pleasant surprise, according to Coach Laddie and the staff led by defensive coordinator Pat Jones. See how Halifax does defensively, led by legends and Billy D. Smith, their D coordinator, and Roger Chrysler. Teat from the outside, that whistle's high and wide, and a chance the opposite way in transition here for Halifax. Gillies trying to beat Orleman, not that time. Loose ball, Hasek trying to get it. There's an open cage right now. Robertson does well to stay out on the floor. Like Kersey was telling me prior to the broadcast tonight and shoot around that, he wants to see the transition game clean up as the playoffs are going around the corner, but Halifax gets on the board there thanks to Austin Shanks. Got a seam and levels the scoring at 1 apiece. And in the absence of Sean Evans last game, that's what Shanks can provide at a goal and 2 assists last game. And gets the Halifax first tally tonight here on the road. Good move over Ron-John and McCray a little bit late helping over, and the Ohio State product 2018 All-Rookie team player scores there for the Thunderbirds. A 1-1 game early on here at the Coliseum. But the movement of the two-man game between Shanks and what Peterson can provide and Cody James, especially in man-up situations. If they get to it this game, Halifax comes in at 14th. I think that's a little misleading. They have a lot of firepower in those 5v4 situations. Campbell's done a nice job defensively this year, anchoring near the crease along with Bell for Halifax. There they are defensively in white. And the shot's in for Callum Crawford. Welcome back to the Riptide, Crawford, after missing the last 3 games. And New York regains the lead, thanks to the veteran. We mentioned off the top of the broadcast, what would the connection be like this game with Teat and Crawford? And you see it work out to perfection. Teat, that cross-floor pass makes it look nearly flawless over to Crawford, scoring amid Bell in the 34th goal this year. And I mentioned what it would be like. Well, we know they played with each other at the start of the year. But Teat, in the absence of Crawford, has been carrying the ball more over the last few games. I think you could say middle part of the year was all Crawford statistically in possession when the ball would go into the offensive zone. So tonight you're going to see maybe a 50-50. We'll see what the dichotomy is. Nonetheless, Crawford scores. Here's Halifax with Evans back in the lineup. Brock is also out for this game as well. Been in multiple scratches. We'll get to that in just a moment. The shot is just wide by Keogh, but possession retained there. And it's just going to be dumped in with the shot clock winding down by Eric Fennell. Another player out of Ohio State did very well with this team. Has 16 goals and 13 assists this year. So with the Riptide in possession in a 2-1 game, Kieran McCardle is scratched tonight along with Mac Mitchell. The coaching staff had to make some decisions, bringing back Crawford, also Ron-John, in the lineup as well. Ryan Terafenko's been really good, a pleasant surprise in his rookie season out of Ohio State. He's a scratch. I mentioned Theed for Halifax. He's on the IR along with Brock as well. Thompson is in as well as Evans. Riptide also looked really good in transition last game against Rochester. Put that pedal down as we documented for the start of that broadcast a week ago. And then Rochester kind of stormed back. And we'll see how that flourishes in this game with those transition moments. From the outside again, Orleman had a piece to his left. Fennell with the shot that was his second attempt. Teat 2 points away from breaking that rookie record with those points set by Randy Stotts back in 2016 with 95. Teat in possession, swims over a man. Teat tries to go low, but Bold is there. He got past Colton Armstrong that time. And back comes Halifax the opposite way with Withers. We mentioned his prowess on the face-off dot. You'll see them flourish here. Evans towards the crease. And will take us to a timeout. With 9:34 to go in the first. Aaron Bold trying to come up big tonight in the cage, just like Steve Orleman has done for New York. Bold getting the call instead of Hill so far. Makes a stop here against the Riptide. It's a 2-1 game. Back in a moment. So Jeff Teat now is 2 points away from breaking that rookie point record right now that was set by Randy Stotts back in 2016. We'll keep an eye on what Teat does tonight, see what Dodd, Smith, Nanticoke, and Leclerc have also accomplished this year. Dave Little, Peter Schwartz between the benches in Nassau Coliseum for the second and final meeting of the regular season between Halifax and the New York Riptide. New York in possession so far, getting goals by Lomas and Crawford. Teat with an assist tonight. Lomas is back out there for the Riptide. Teat setting some seals for a moment. Lomas, look at that two-man game, and that is fired wide. Still stays with possession here for New York as Halifax tries to pick it off, and they do successfully the opposite way. Evans storming out the Odor numbers here for Halifax. Here with Evans. Evans gets that in. That shot again is high and wide that time for Halifax. Graham Hossack staying out there on the offensive side. See the versatility that he can provide. Cody Jamieson will reset here for the Thunderbirds. Over to Shanks. Peterson's playing that right-hand side. Really want to have the balance tonight. They'll get it there thanks to Clark Peterson. That's his 61st point of the season, and Peterson equals the scoreline. It's a 2-2 game. And talking with Mike Acursi prior to the broadcast, I said he wanted the balance between the righties and the lefties tonight. Lately, it's been one-sided, getting Peterson here with a seam on the outside, going low on Orleman. Now, we have seen on the scout teams try to accomplish that against Steve, and Peterson gets the goal, his 23rd of the season. Early on in this matchup here at Nassau Coliseum, it is a 2-2 game. This is one of 3 games tonight on the Week 21 docket with the playoffs a couple weeks away. Georgia taking on Panther City at 8:30 Eastern Time. San Diego against Saskatchewan at 9:30. How about Rochester snapping an 8-game losing skid last night to Calgary? Calgary previously won 5 in a row. That game was a 15-7 scoreline. Peterson's running up top. Again, Dawson Theed, when he's in, usually sets those seals inside. The shot goes off the pipe, that time from Fennell. Peterson tries to get it around the cage. Instead, Dominy was there. And we're going to get a call coming up here. Looks like it's going to come against New York. You see what Withers can provide with that 4-1 advantage. Here's the call by Garrison. So Noteworthy is going to go to the bench. And in the box here, it's going to be a man up here for Halifax. First power play tonight for either team. Peterson trying to beat Orleman right down the middle, and Steve got just enough. Halifax comes in last on the man-up situations, 14th at only 27.9% successful rates. New York has looked good on the penalty kills this year. They're 11th in the NLL. Here's Teat, and down now, 4v5. Teat feeding that inside the one-timer. Foot was in the crease there for Crawford. It's not going to count for his second goal. Noseworthy is in the penalty box. Take a look back at that replay here. You can see that left foot going in there from Crawford back out there for the Riptide. 20 to go here on this man up here for Keogh and company. Halifax trying to get on the board. New York is for the box defensively here. Shanks trying to get his second amid Orleman and scores. Austin Shanks has 2 in the game. And Halifax with the power play goal takes the lead 3-2. Well, this is an area that I said at the top of the broadcast that's been misleading for Halifax with those power play numbers, and you can see that cross-floor pass by Evans over to Shanks. Good patience amid Robertson and Orleman. That's his second. And Halifax takes its first lead tonight. We're early, and it's 7:21 to go in the first, and a 3-2 Halifax lead. Withers and Orleman again. You saw the numbers a moment ago between Withers and Thornburg. Dominated by Withers. Came in with 285 face-off wins, which was the same starting the game tonight with Trevor Baptiste of the Philadelphia Wings. Should mention in that playoff hunt, the chase for the championship, Philly, Panther City, New York, Saskatchewan, still alive. Georgia, Albany, and Philly cannot clinch a playoff berth or be eliminated tonight. Again, it's a win and you're in for Halifax. Lomas trying to get his second, and he will against Bold. So Lomas is 2 for 2, and it's a 3-3 game. What a start to the game here for Dan Lomas for New York, and he wanted that versatility for the Riptide, and this is what they can provide, getting the loose ball here. And the Riptide see Lomas get that past Bold for the second. It stems from the shot from T, and a good look by Kiernan over to Lomas, and he gets the goal for the Riptide. Withers that time defensively here. He'll draw called against Withers. It's going to belong to New York with 6:44 to go in the first. Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew from Nassau Coliseum. It's Fan Appreciation Night, the last home regular season game for the New York Riptide, who will go to Albany next week. And next weekend, the Thunderbirds will be at Rochester. Team, that crossbar pass, searching for Fox. Digby trying to get it towards the corner, scooped up by Withers amid Jake Fox, who had a fantastic game against Rochester last game with 4 goals. Production has been up and down. It's been interesting to see the way that he's playing with the acquisition from Colorado, Tyler Digby as well. Evans in possession amid 2, skips that across the floor to the opposite side. Fennell in possession, back over to Evans. We'll spot Keogh. 8 to shoot here for Keogh. Jetting inside, that rang off the pipe that time. Over to Ranjan. Ranjan in transition, numbers the opposite way defensively. Ranjan still going to take matters in his own hands, and that's just a little bit wide. Bold made himself big and covered that left punt nicely. Here's the Orleman save that time. Actually rang off the pipe from Keogh. Keogh with that opportunity to have Halifax go up 4-3. It's a 3-3 scoreline. Shanks is out there to possession back to Thunderbirds, and a good start for them. Here's that shot, and the bouncer is in for Chris Boucher. His 21st goal of the year. Halifax retakes the lead, 4-3. Nicely done. Good bouncer, and concerning for Lattiser's team, who's looked really good in first quarters. Excellent start for Halifax. And in his second year with the team, Chris Boucher gets on the board in this game. Again, Halifax can clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight, or Panther City, if they lose to Georgia, that would also give Halifax a playoff spot. Right now they're the 3 seed, pairing with Toronto. That 1-4 the East is Buffalo, Georgia. That last spot in the playoffs for the moment belongs to Albany, and as I mentioned before, Philly, Panther City, New York, yes, and the Rush are still in it. Here's Teat with the Riptide, down by 1. Tyler Digby back, and he's looked really good, setting those seals and going actually behind the cage too, like we see Fox early on in the air. Teats swimming over 1, behind the back, looking for Lomas, picked up and went off the crossbar. Lomas trying to get his own miss, a hard hit. We're gonna have a call against Barkley, playing in his 5th game this year. It was late towards the crease, and as we go to timeout, New York will go on the power play for the first time on the other side. Nearly an opportunity for New York to equalize here, but instead it's going to be a man-up situation. You're going to see Campbell try to jet inside off of that one off the crossbar. There's the hit by Barkley. New York on the power play after the break.
For the 2023 season.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, downstairs to Peter Schwartz with Dan Lattiser. Peter.
Dave, thank you. Dan, two teams with playoff aspirations. What do you like from your side so far?
I like the energy so far. I think in the defensive end, we asked the guys to play physical, and so far we've had some guys on the ground, which is where we want to be. The ball movement up front is good, and we really need to test Boldy here early.
You guys have been in playoff mode for a long time now. Does this game feel just like a playoff game again?
We take each game as they come. We say that this is the most important game of our season right here, and that's how we approach every game.
Dan, thank you. Back up to Dave.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, it's a must-win situation for the Riptide tonight, as Peter mentioned, and the team's been playing really well, having run 4 of the last 6. Barclay's in the box due to a cross-check. An opportunity here for Teat over to Lomas yet again, and that rings off of 2 pipes and bounces in for Lomas. So Dan Lomas with an early hat trick in this game. It's a power play goal. Teat gets the assist. He now ties that rookie record set by Stotts back in 2016. So Lomas with a hat trick, a power play goal, and Teat 1 point away from breaking that rookie point getter. Here's Lomas. That power play goal again. He has 3 of the Riptide's 4 goals. We're going to ring off both pipes and pass the line for Lomas. Has the hat trick, another power play goal, 13th of the year in a 4-4 game, and the challenge flag was thrown by Micah Kersey. The 4-time NLL champ, won titles with Rochester and Buffalo in his illustrious 17-year career. We'll have Ian Garrison take a look at this if the ball crossed the line, and Ian Garrison will be looking at the images that you're about to see, the great access across the National Lacrosse League. Call on the floor again was a goal for Dan Lomas. Teat now has 2 assists in the game. Here's a look by our great crew. It's going to ring off that pipe there. It looks like it goes inside that right pipe and in. As Hasek tried to cover it up. Same with Bold, it was a little late there. Nice twister there from Lomas. Sundown was behind the cage the whole way. The Riptide players celebrating. McMagnum and company thought that was probably it as well for Halifax. Bold did get a piece, great shot by our crew right there. But Garrison will be seeing the opposite view, seeing that ball cross the line the whole way before Hasek gobbled it up. We're talking with Micah Kersey. He said not only has Hasek been great defensively, but also Scott Campbell with 1,100 loose balls in his great career, his 17th NLL season, going past Sean Williams. Been in the NLL since 2005 with Minnesota, but for guys like Magnan and Colton Armstrong, what they provided defensively. Nugo Thompson as well, activated tonight. New York native who's been playing great for this team, and also what they provide in transition too. And I mentioned that's an area that Kersey thinks has waned kind of on this skid where they've dropped 6 in the last 7. They have lost the last 2 games. But tonight they've looked really good. Got to give Halifax credit. A terrific start to this game. And Garrison taking a look at the ball cross the line. That whole ball has to cross the ball. You see the call on the floor was a goal for New York. If it stands, it would be a 4-4 game. Riptide tonight would be eliminated from playoff contention with the loss tonight to Halifax or a win by Panther City over Georgia. So we'll keep an eye on those games. It's going to be a win by Panther City over Georgia and a Saskatchewan Rush loss to San Diego. So multiple scenarios in play. We'll keep you abreast of that chase for the championship situation on broadcast law. Review is over. Here's the call from Ian Garrison. And it is a hat trick for Dan Lomas. Teat will get the assist. And again, he is 1 point away from that single season rookie record set by Stotts in 2016. But how about the start for Dan Lomas in this game? Again, he ruptured his Achilles, had a long, extensive rehab. His first game back this year was March 5th at Toronto, then played against Rochester, And he's been that addition that the Riptide needed on that side. You're seeing it on the left. There were 2 two-minute minors called in the previous penalty. That's why the Riptide are still on the power play here with Barclay in the penalty box. So it's a 4-4 game. Both teams have scored in the man-up situations to start. Crawford out there on that right-hand side. Look at Teat running the top here for New York. Lomas again on that left for the box defensively for Halifax. Teat right over to Crawford looking for his second and scores! Power play goal for the Riptides. Crawford is second in the game. And New York takes the lead yet again. It's 5-4 Riptide. Take another look here at what Teat can provide here, and Teat is going to get the assist. So congratulations to Jeff Teat, breaking the rookie single-season record, now at 96 points, surpassing Randy Stotts, who had 95 back in 2016. Crawford gets the power play goal, his second in the game, but Teat now with the new NLL record for rookie points with 96. 3 assists tonight for Jeff Teat, on cue, in possession for the Riptide. Teat lost it in stride there in the bounce. It's going to come the opposite way in transition as Colin Armstrong past Digby. Armstrong scores! Flying by and jetting past Orleman, making it a 5-5 game. Mentioned a moment ago how well Colton Armstrong has played for this coaching staff. I think the defensive coaches in Roger Chrysler, Billy D. Smith have to like the transition work too from Armstrong. Saw Digby the whole way, the lone guy back in defense. And again, it's been a theme. They're going down low on Orleman. Nicely done here for the Thunderbirds. 5th goal of the year for Colton Armstrong, the Peterborough native. And it's 5-5 here at the Coliseum with 3:29 and a rolling clock to go in the first frame. Riptide shut out Rochester 4-0 last game. Also a strong start for the Thunderbirds against Toronto as well, as Evans tried to go low. Back in the lineup that goes into the crowd, a souvenir on Fan Appreciation Night. But the challenging moment for Halifax last game, they only had 1 goal in the second half, which is very uncharacteristic from this team, especially the start of the year when they were 8-1 through the first 9 games. Nicely done, blocked down in front from Storos. Possession will stay here for Halifax, under 3 minutes to go in our first frame. Fennell trying to pass Dominy that time. Evans retains possession here for the Thunderbirds. Evans skips it across the floor. Orleman's there to make himself big. And transition moment the opposite way here for the Riptide. Connor Kiernan running that middle along with Fox, setting those seals for Crawford, dislodged nicely there by Halifax. Thunderbirds are going to operate the opposite way. They have to love the momentum they're getting in transition tonight. We mentioned that to open the show, what Halifax needed. And Gillies as well has done a great job at that tonight, setting the tone. Now the offensive players are out there for Halifax in whites in a 5-5 game. Shanks got it from Jamison that time. Jamison on cue is at the top. Get that one-timer over to Peterson, but New York was there defensively with Marinier. Call coming up here against Robertson, and it's going to stay with Halifax. New York Riptide season tickets are on sale now. Tickets start as low as $25 per game. Season ticket members get huge benefits like discounts, meet and greets, a ticket exchange program, so your tickets never go unused and more. Learn more at NewYorkRiptide.com. Shot is low there from Shanks. Orleman was there to get just enough and smother that. And it goes back to New York in transition with Ron John. The Albany product for New York, and Ron John has scored in back-to-back games. Also has been a healthy addition in transition for the Riptide too. And see what he does setting those seals inside. Crawford has 2 tonight. Hasek all over him. Roll dodge over him. Stick was tossed to the floor. Gotten back by Withers, who was going toe-to-toe. Larson Sundown, who's having a great rookie season. And back to Halifax. Thunderbirds tonight looking for their 10th win overall. come in at third in the Eastern Conference behind Buffalo and Toronto. Buffalo has clinched that 1 seed with a 14-3 record. Toronto, remarkably, under Matt Sawyer, has won 9 of the last 11 games. Overhead shot there from Jamison, trying to get his first. Dominique tried to squeeze. It's going to be an over and back call as Keogh had it, and possession back quickly to the Riptide and Thunderbirds. Thunderbird as well, not just the face-offs, but just like Withers, has been great defensively too. Team trying to add another, skips it across. Here's the dunk by Fox, and that's jammed home. Fox gets the lead back for the Riptide at 6-5, and now 4 assists in the game for Jeff Teed as well. I mentioned the huge game against Rochester for Fox, where he had 4 goals. We've seen him do it all season long amid Bold. He opted for the left pipe and then quickly faked there and went to the right over Bold. Look at the adjustment, just the arduous play by Fox. Johns Hopkins product with 1 outstretched left arm. Scores for his 18th of the year. At one point, Fox had 1 goal in 5 games before he scored 4 last game against Rochester. I think the coaching staff, led by offensive coordinator Jason Crosby, has to be pleased with the versatility he can provide, because early on in the year, we saw a lot of Connor Kiernan, who was remarkable. He scored in every game for the Riptide. How well Kiernan was doing behind the cage. You're seeing him more on that left-hand side, and Fox now going behind the net. Here's Peterson, and he bangs it home for his 2nd of the game. How about Clark Peterson starts in this game too? It's 6-all. Training goals tonight here at the barn with 9.3 seconds to go in the first. Peterson had our 4th goal tonight, a seam from the outside, and what a rip there past Orleman. So Riptide a little bit late getting there with Robertson and Ron John. Peterson with 24 on the year. Cornell product, who also played for the Big Red with Jeff T. So a lot of their highlight reels together for Cornell. Delivers, and it's 6-all. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter from Nassau Coliseum. And what a start by both teams in this game. From the outset, it was Lomas amid Aaron Bold, giving the Riptide a 4-3 advantage, but then Halifax was trading blows thanks to Colton Armstrong in transition, and then Peterson gets that last goal for Halifax. A 6-6 game and a thrilling one. 2nd quarter from the Coliseum coming up after these messages. The NLL on ESPN is brought to you by NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. By Guaranteed Rate, if you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate, believe you will. And by BetMGM, the official sportsbook of the NLL. Get the BetMGM app today. Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Please bet responsibly. Big Apple in the distance, and we're in Uniondale, New York with Fan Appreciation Night. Some youth lacrosse players in attendance as well. Dave Little, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew from Nassau Coliseum as we start the second quarter. It's a 6-all game between Halifax and New York. Lomas has a hat trick in this game. Last goal scored by Peterson, who has 2 for the Thunderbirds. Congratulations again if you're just joining us. Jeff Teat has 5 assists, actually got credited for the secondary assist in the last Lomas goal. So Jeff Teat with his 5 assists just needed 3 points to break that scoring record held by rookies, and he did so passing Randy Stotts back in 2016. Also has the assist record, for that matter, by rookies as well. So congratulations, breaking both the assist record and that total point record by Jeff Teat as a rookie. And just for good measure, Teat now with 98 points. No rookie, by the way, has gotten to 100 ever. So Teat would be the first to do that, surpassing 2 records tonight. And we're going to get another call coming up against Halifax. They'll be man down for the second time. The bell for an illegal cross-check is in the box. New York is 1 for 1 on man-up situations in the game. 30 seconds in to our second frame here at the Coliseum. And New York has been one of the best on the power plays this year. Last game against Rochester, they were 5 of 6 on man-ups. Team trying to go downstairs, but Bold was there, still in the game. Again, Warren Hill did not make the start tonight. Opposite way, shorthanded, here's Scott Campbell. I mentioned the prowess that he's provided defensively, also some bright moments in transition as well. Shanks and company are trying to kill off this power play for Halifax. Shanks running middle this time, it's Fennell. Fennell gaining ground. Orleman got just a piece that time. Team picks it up for the Riptide with Marinier. Marinier, that big body defensively, has done a great job with Damon Edwards this year amid Orleman, who's been fantastic. You know, Riptide fans would know that what Jeff Teat has provided offensively, you could say in some respects, Steve Orleman has matched that. And what I mean by that is it was a question mark for the coaching staff on what the goaltending would look like this year. And Orleman has really stole the show defensively for the Riptide. Goa Abrams been remarkable as a backup for New York. It was back and forth between Abrams and Orleman, and now it's been Steve Orleman who has shined for New York. They also have Will Johnston in the system as well. Taking behind the gauge again. New York is on man-up situations. Orleman is 4 saves away, by the way, of breaking the rookie record for saves. So we'll see if that is accomplished in this game. So the Riptide are really breaking a slew of rookie records this evening, and that attests to how many new faces are on this team. Here's Evans, meanwhile. Great start here for this Halifax team in a 6-all game as Evans is back in the lineup. It's 13 goals, 52 assists coming into action. Orleman has it here for New York, over to Digby, and Robertson back the opposite way for the Riptide. Just 8 seconds to go on the man up here, as Tyson Bell is getting ready to run out of the penalty box, and we're even strength, 5v5 now. Nice penalty kill there for the Thunderbirds. Armstrong there defensively. Teat is denied there by Bold, and the opposite way comes Halifax in the white jerseys. Withers running that middle pass. Domini, a seam was there, and Orleman squeezes that. Teat again looking for his first. Bold made himself big that time to get just enough. Kept on this end with Kiernan. That was the stodge by Gillies. Gillies could have a breakaway opportunity as Kiernan loses his stick and fires wide. Campbell with the chance, and Orleman is there too. Nice stuff by the Riptide defensively, but you have to admire the assertiveness in this game for Halifax as well in transition. See Gillies with the chance as the stick was lost, but above the crossbar. Campbell almost had that opportunity, but a goal scored during our replay there for Halifax, and Hasek regains the lead for the Thunderbirds. It's 7-6. The 2-time Defensive Player of the Year delivers here for Coach Acursi's team. On the forecheck again, the physicality what Halifax can provide and taking matters into his own hands. Hasek there, with the stop on Kiernan towards the boards and a great seal inside as well, and they get the goal. Trevor Smith with a nice seal there. Hasic gets the goal, and it's 7-6 here at the Coliseum in our second quarter. Halifax, by the way, has scored 3 of the last 4 goals as Armstrong flees off to his bench. There were offensive players out there here for the Thunderbirds. Here's Jamison. Doesn't have a goal tonight. It's been strong when he's been in possession all season long from the former MVP. We'll move inside there. Fennell with the shot from the outside. Orleman comes up big that time, and the Riptide gobble it up. So here comes the New York Riptide in transition the opposite way. Here with McCray. McCray's going to give way this time to Crawford. Has 2 in the game. Crawford trying to dodge inside. Halifax stands pat defensively. Sundown swims over one. Sundown trying to go to the outside. Good defense by Magnum that time for Halifax. Hasic trying to beat Crawford, but it's Crawford going low and scoring against Bold yet again. Crawford with a hat trick in this game like Dan Lomas, and it's 7-all. So it's been the T. Crawford and Lomas show tonight. Crawford getting past Hasic that time and going 5-hole on Bold. Nice work by Callum Crawford, back for New York. Crawford came into this game with 77 points. I mentioned that he missed the prior 3 games. Remember, he sustained a groin injury in warm-ups in the Colorado game where it was like 3 games in 9 days for the Riptide, but still has been in the top 10, top 15 in points this year. Led by Dane Smith, what he's done for Buffalo, over 130 points, been remarkable for the Bandits. Behind the back from Kiernan, Riptide still in possession, and that is why it's going to be an opportunity the opposite way here for Armstrong with a breakaway amid Orleman. Orleman gets just enough to detonate that. Next save is the rookie record for Steve Orleman. Keep that in mind moving forward in a 7-all contest early on in the second. Bounced across here to Crawford with 3. Crawford trying to get over one and wisely slows the pace. There's a delayed call against Halifax. It's going to be a 6-on-5 as Orleman goes off. One-timer rings off the pipe there for Sundown. And the New York Riptide are going to go back on the power play. We'll take us to a timeout as well with Nate. 9:48 to go in the second. As New York is going to go on another man up, Graham Hasic is going to go to the box. Big stop there for Steve Orleman to Rob Armstrong in transition. Back in a moment. back at Nassau Coliseum, a great 7-7 game. Downstairs to Peter Schwartz with Halifax's head coach Mike Kersey. Peter.
Mike, in a game that has so much playoff implication, can you put into context what we've seen so far here tonight with both teams going back and forth?
Yeah, it's been a back and forth battle. I mean, you know, our offense is doing a good job, and their offense is scoring on their opportunities. So, you know, defensively, we need to tighten up. We need Boldy to make a few saves, and we should be fine.
You talked this morning at the shoot-around about the need to get more of a balance between lefty and righty shots. Do you like what you're seeing from that perspective tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think our offense is doing a great job. We're scoring in transition. That's exactly what we wanted to do.
Mike, thank you very much. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Peter. As New York is on the man-up situation with Hasek in the box. New York with a couple of power play goals tonight in a 7-all game. Here in the second, he tries to go low. That was dislodged there. Campbell picks up the loose ball here for Halifax. And just like Mike Kersey was saying to our Peter Schwartz, you can see how this Halifax team is recharged in transition. Yes, they're nailing their outside shots. You can see a +6 advantage of the shots there. But they're doing it in multiple ways tonight. From the outside amid the crease of Orleman in transition on breakaways that had multiple opportunities, all without feed, setting those seals inside. Another chance, Fennell, and Orleman comes up big that time to Rambushi. What a stop by Orleman, and congratulations to Steve Orleman setting the rookie saves record with that stop there. Attesting the job that he's done in his rookie season for Steve Orleman. Just joining us, Jeff T. reached the rookie scoring record and assist record, and Steve Orleman there, the new rookie record for saves over 600 in his rookie season with the Riptide. Fennell, this is short-handed Halifax. That shot is high from Peterson, who has 2 goals in this game. As Peter was mentioning, this has gone back and forth. If you're just joining us, Dan Lomas has a hat trick in this game, the same with Crawford. Peterson for Halifax has 2 as well. Armstrong also has a goal in this game for the Thunderbirds. 23 seconds left here in the man-up situation. There's another dunk behind the cage. Bold stands his ground nicely. Great work there to deny Ranjan that time. And Gillies is out there in transition. Will let his offensive players fly out the O-Tour here with Keogh and company on the man down. Halifax try to kill off another penalty for the second time in this game. They will with Hasek off, and it's 5v5. Hasek is there just back defensively. 2 to shoot here for Evans, nearly a shot clock violation. That's high, and then the officials led by Ian Garrison in the shot clock. There's the stop here for Bold, nicely deny that dunk opportunity for Ranjan. Good movement from Aaron Bold in this game. Again, Warren Hill is the backup tonight. Hill allowed 8 goals last game against Toronto in that 8-goal loss. Digby trying to salvage the possession for New York. Good forechecking, though, by Bell. 13 to shoot. It's going to be an illegal pick called against New York away from the ball, so it's going to come back the opposite way. New York 1 of 3 on the man advantage. I mentioned Halifax has killed off 2 penalties in this game. As they've got a player down right now. Looks like it's Armstrong. 7:17 to go in the second. Armstrong does have a goal in this game. You see Tyson Bell, the athletic training staff, helping out for Halifax too. Here's another look by our crew, right side of your screen. Seal set by, yeah, it looked like it was Digby. As on the left side. Might have been Lomas. Nonetheless, in Sundown were there. But Armstrong is up right now. What Colton Armstrong has provided for this team. Plays for Coburg in the MSL as well. Second year of Halifax, was also part of the Rochester team back in 2019-2. Congrats to GM and owner Kurt Stiers, bringing this team over from Rochester to Halifax. The job they've done in Halifax, right side of your screen. You can see that collision there. And Armstrong's going to be attended to in the locker room. A lot of the Halifax fan base anxiously awaiting the result of this game and get a win, and you're in scenario tonight for Halifax or Panther City falling to Georgia. We're just getting close to the bottom of the hour. as Georgia's going to take on Panther City again. This is one of 3 games tonight. Chance here again. Peterson trying to feed that forward. And the Riptide are there to get the loose ball. Almost a Halifax lead that time for Bushi. Instead, here comes the Riptide on the opposite end with McRae. Trying to get Thornburn to the one-timer. Bold is there instead to smother that for Halifax. Over to Peterson, who has 2 goals. Renier's back there with Ranjan defensively with Storos and Borgatti. The Thunderbirds trying to drive in traffic. Get it back to the top here with Thompson. There's Thompson in his 2nd year with the team. Trying to swim over Storos that time. Shovels that back to Fennell, 2 to shoot. He has to hurry with the bouncer, trying to go short side. It was wide the whole way back to New York. Here's Borgatti, who's been a real surprise from the start of the year. And that dominance has continued for Borgatti. And also Damon Edwards coming from Toronto. Lomas over to Teague, trying to skip that across. Sticks were in the middle that time. Nice work by Gillies there to get just enough. And back to Tyson Bell here for Halifax. Nice tip by Robertson. Going to stay on this end here for the Thunderbirds. And over to Jameson. Jameson, the 2014 MVP, has 15 goals this season, accompanied by 36 assists. Robertson all over him. They have Fennell on the left side if they want him. For the Peterson, Bushi getting those seals inside. See if they get that 2-man game. There's the pick and roll to fruition. And Bushi's going to get his 2nd goal of the game. It's now 8-7 Halifax. Watch this pick and pop yet again by Halifax. And they're going to deliver right down to the 5-hole of Orleman, and Bushi scores. Nice work there for the Thunderbirds. That pendulum clock continues to swing here at the Coliseum. It's 8-7 Halifax. Bushi as well also played for Calgary and Rochester in the past. The Burlington, Ontario native has his 2nd in the game. That was a good feed there. Looked like it was Stephen Keogh that had that pick and roll situation for Halifax. They're up by 1 over the Riptide. Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew, led by producer Scott Zolatoro tonight from Nassau Coliseum. The penultimate games for both of these teams before the NLL playoffs. Here's Crawford with a hat trick tonight. 5 to shoot, jumps. That's that patented Crawford move. Bold wasn't fooled that time as he drums that down to the floor with the stop. The opposite way here for the Thunderbirds. Let's see what the Riptide can do defensively here to try to quiet Halifax. It's going to run off. Good work defensively, Marinier there to dislodge that. Back to the Riptide. Movement here from Edwards, still in possession, work with Robertson. A couple of D guys on the floor right now for the Riptide. Halifax is set defensively. On the flip side, there's that one-timer from Kiernan. Bold pivoted to his right beautifully to make the stop. In transition, here comes Peterson and company for the Thunderbirds. And flying out the O-door, Evans hit that into his own man in Keogh. And the loose ball back to New York in blue with Thornburn. Under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Fox out there sitting those seals, back to Crawford. Crawford trying to roll past Campbell that time. Digby skips it across here to Sundown. Diagonal pass back over to Crawford. Crawford running middle. There's that help. 3 guys on him. What a play by Hasek to get a tip on that. And the shot clock violation against the Riptide. Hasek has looked really good on both ends of the floor. A nice defensive play there. But how about Chris Bushi in this game? He's got 2. That pick and pop there. And Chris Bushi makes it an 8-7 Halifax lead. Thanks to that impeccable work on the pick and roll with Shanks.
delivering merchandise right now because they're sitting here with me rocking some merchandise.
Coming up on the Guaranteed Rate halftime show, a special look at one of the great families in lacrosse today, the Thompson brothers. That plus first half analysis and interviews by Peter Schwartz down on the floor, all coming up on the Guaranteed Rate halftime show. Ladisser and Pat Jones looking on here in a back-and-forth game. That's been the theme if you're just joining us in this contest. It's Dave Leno, Peter Schwartz between the benches, our entire crew from the Coliseum. Halifax in white taking on the Riptide in blue. It's 8-7 Halifax with the advantage here against the Riptide in the second of two meetings. And they get the goal there from Shanks. That's a hat trick in this game for Austin Shanks. And for the first time tonight, Halifax goes up 2, and the Thunderbirds lead 9-7. Also a theme that's developing is these outside shots that have been going in past Orleman, and nicely done by Shanks picking that corner and getting that also past the stick of Domini. And Austin Shanks scores. Again, it's a hat trick just like Lomas and Crawford in this game. And the Thunderbirds in a win and you're in situation in the chase for the championship. The 9-7 right now over the Riptide. The Riptide, by the way, which has been a theme over the last few games, have had the lead, which is different for the start of the season, going into the locker room. Let's see if that will stand right now. Currently, it's Halifax in control. Keogh setting those seals inside. Over to Fennell on the left-hand side. Halifax trying to get a 10 spot. That's smothered right into the pocket there of Orleman. Back over to Thornburg. Borgatti will give way this time to Kiernan. Still looking for his first tally. It's been a mode of consistency this season for Connor Kiernan since coming over for San Diego. Jason Crosby doing a nice job implementing into the offense since training camp, and it's Crawford with a hat trick tonight. Got that seal with Kiernan, opts to keep possession, 1 to shoot, and with that twister overhead shots, whizzing past ball that time. Shot clock violation was called in the end, and we'll go back to the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds have looked really good this year, especially that start of the year winning 8 of the first 9 games. They also had the lead in the Alterna Cup, but in the end that was won by Calgary with a 6-1 record. So congratulations to the Roughnecks, who looked really good at the tail end of this season, even though they lost last night to Rochester, snapping their 5-game win streak. That's just dumped ahead by New York. Marinier has it here amid Smith. Also good to see Armstrong back out there. Remember, he took a hard hit in this second quarter. Possession retained here for the Riptide. Digby over to the Teat side. Teat behind Smith. Chance here for Lomas. Lomas again looking for his 4th of the game. Bold makes the stop for Halifax. And bounces it over to Withers, who splinters up the floor in a 9-7 game. 1:15 to go until the break. Storos on the defensive work amid Evans. Keogh helping out with the seal. Evans with the twister went wide. Keogh behind the back. Still stays alive here for Shawnee Evans. Storos helping him along with Borgatti. Goes to the top, Fennell. Thornburg didn't see it the whole way. Shove it across Keogh, and Orleman's there to his left. Looking for the quick outlet. Orleman, by the way, has 6 assists this season. Warren Hill, who's on the bench, the backup in this game for Halifax, also has 6 assists as well. Goaltenders across the league, remarkable outlets this year. Crawford from the top. Bulb was all over that. There's that outlet to that point over to Hasek. Hasek has a tally in this game. Wait patiently. Those offensive players out there. Look at that last stop for Orleman there. Defender was already at the top of the crease too. 20 seconds to go until halftime. Thompson across the opposite way. Peterson, that's high and wide. Fennell couldn't keep it on this end. It's going to be an over and back. And I think Ladisser's going to call a timeout with 10.6 seconds to go until halftime. That's exactly what's going to occur. Wisely so from Coach Laddie and the New York bench. We'll draw up a play led by offensive coordinator Jason Crosby. As you look at David Edwards and Tyler Digby. It's good to see Armstrong back out there. Again, took a nasty fall off of a hit. Michael Kersey and the staff like to see that he's back out there, not just defensively, but also gifted in the transition game for the Thunderbirds. So you're looking at a team right there. It's a great shot by our crew that's built for the future. You know what he can provide as a Rookie of the Year candidate. Adjustments being made for Halifax and what the veteran presence of what Crawford can give you as well. But you also surround those pieces of what Connor Cunin has done this year. Dan Lopez coming back from injury. And the Riptide, yes, you see them with a 6-10 record. Halifax, the big storyline, a win and you're in the playoffs for the Thunderbirds, trying to get their 10th win, slightly behind Buffalo and also Toronto, who has won 9 of the last 11. It seems like a lot of pundits across the league say we don't want to play teams like Toronto right now, and the same for Calgary despite losing last night to Rochester. Play was drawn up for Crawford inside. That was tipped. There's the shot of the end by Crawford, and Bold comes up big, and Halifax is going to go into the locker room leading by 2. A great surge to this game for Halifax in the tail end, thanks to what Shanks has provided, and adjustments will have to be made for Coach Ladisser and the staff. For the first time in quite a few games, they'll go into the locker room trailing, and it's a team that's fumbled with, at the start of the year, trying to come from behind, where they just needed those extra 3, 4, 5 minutes to get in games. Will this be the type of game tonight? Obviously a long way to go, but it's a nice addition for the Riptide to get Crawford back in the lineup with a hat trick tonight, and Lomas as well. Let's go downstairs to Peter Schwartz.
All right, Dave, thank you. Austin, what a first half. These two teams fighting for a playoff spot. Take me through your thoughts on the first half.
We're just sticking to our game plan. Everyone's working hard, and Boldy's making big stops for us.
And from your guys' perspective, a chance to punch a ticket to the playoffs tonight. Tell me about how you guys have been able to execute your game plan against this New York team that's also battling for a playoff spot.
Just hard work and moving our feet. It's not going to be easy. This is a playoff game right now. It's not a playoff start right now. So you have to up your game, and this is a game to do it.
All right, Austin, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Back up to you, Dave.
Austin Shanks, Peter, thank you so much. And as we go to halftime, what a start for both teams in this game. In the end, Halifax has the 9-7 advantage thanks to a hat trick by Shanks. Peterson also a hat trick as well. Teat sets the rookie record in points and assists as the NLL Guaranteed Rate halftime show commences after this. Welcome to the Guaranteed Rate halftime show. Welcome to the Guaranteed Rate Halftime Show. Tonight in Fort Worth, Texas, Lyle Thompson of the Georgia Swerve and Jeremy Thompson of the Panther City Lacrosse Club are facing off against each other in a huge game with playoff implications. It's a special night for these two players as they are brothers. Jeremy is the oldest and Lyle is the youngest of four Thompson brothers who grew up playing the game of lacrosse from an early age. All four Thompson brothers, Jeremy, Miles, Jerome, and Lyle, have achieved great success in college and now professional lacrosse. But for this family, lacrosse is more than a game.
For us, lacrosse has sort of just been in our blood. My father's played the game, my grandparents have played the games. In a way, each and every one of us were sort of born into the game of lacrosse. Growing up in Onondaga, we always had lacrosse to go to.
Lacrosse is really deeply rooted in our heritage and our culture. It's a way of life. It's a part of our medicine. Lacrosse is right with us from birth to death.
The human highlight reel, Lyle Thompson.
Thompson, here he comes. Thompson scores!
Shot on goal, score!
Guess who?
Jeremy Thompson.
I'm going to start from the beginning. What was your childhood like?
It was normal. Come to realize it was a little bit different because we grew up without much resources. We grew up without electricity, running water. I just remember the house we live in and having a net right at the end of our driveway. My brothers got off the bus. I was always sort of waiting with my stick, waiting with their sticks, and ready to play.
I've had my parents in my life, and a lot of it was just backyard playing.
Jeremy's the oldest, and he was who I looked up to. I wanted to cradle like him, run like him, play the sports he played. Whenever we played backyard games, it would always be me and Jeremy versus Hina and Miles, but always kept it fun. I think family is really important. It's what really held us together as kids. It gives you a support system, and I want my kids to have that same thing. What's up? I was riding the bus. Hold your hand so you don't slip. It makes it even better when I have Jeremy right here. We always have each other. That's true support to me.
Okay, ready, Justy? Go ahead. We'll go at the same time. We'll see who can turn it better. The camera don't lie. We see each other just about every day. We help each other out a lot with our kids, just as far as babysitting for each other and helping out. This is only 8 grandkids out of 23. Yep, 23 between all the siblings. So just imagine everyone in one place. Oh, it gets going.
It's rowdy.
Yeah. How am I gonna feel when I play against my brother? I remember back to the year we played him in 2017.
Thompson, a mini break, pulls back, digs it out, scores! We talk about Lyle, we talk about Miles, but Jeremy Thompson ties it at 13. There's Lyle. To Miles, scores! And it is over!
They ended up beating us in that championship game. Obviously love my brother, I care about my brother so much. And
There's the 2 Thompson brothers. There you go. The 3 Thompson brothers hug each other.
so it's gonna be no different.
You have multiple brothers who have played and play in this league. Do they have trouble rooting for one?
No, they can't pick a side.
Wearing jerseys and hats from both teams.
They're just there to cheer on their boys.
It's always a special moment for me when I get to play against my brothers or play with them.
It's definitely a date marked on the calendar. We have a lot of family that's making the trip a long way from Onondaga. They're really proud that we're professional lacrosse players and we get to do what we love.
What kind of legacy do not just you, but the Thompson brothers want to leave?
I just want to honor the game. It's given me much more than I have given it. At the end of the day, that's what I want my legacy to be.
guaranteed rate first half stats. Look at 7 ties and 3 lead changes as we went back and forth. Shanks for Halifax, Crawford and Lomas all have a hat trick in this game. Team with 6 points, the rookie record in points and assists. Orleman setting the rookie record in saves as well. Thanks so much for watching the Guaranteed Rate halftime show. The start of the second half is coming up next. There's other games around this week 21 of the NLL slate, brought to you by BetMGM. As stated earlier tonight, Rochester won by 8 over Calgary, snapping the Roughnecks' 5-game win streak. Georgia's 2 goals in this game, 2 of the 3, thanks to Lyle Thompson. They lead 3-2 over Panther City, who is still in the hunt for a playoff spot. Later tonight, Colorado taking on the Rush. Micah Kersey has to love the start to the first half of this game. This unit has been really excelling, not just on offense, but also in the transition game. Bold has also looked big at times against the Riptide. And the start of the third quarter is underway from Nassau Coliseum, with Halifax leading 9-7 over the Riptide. The Riptide start the second half down for the first time since a couple games ago, 3 games ago to be exact, in the loss on a Monday against Colorado. Dave, Leno, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew on the call tonight. Great to have you with us. And Halifax starts off 22 seconds in with a goal, and it's a 10 spot there for the Thunderbirds. And Thompson's going to get the goal, and it's 10-7 Halifax with its largest lead tonight. Again delivering from the outside to the upper left of Orleman. Just tuning into this second half, that has been a theme throughout this matchup. The outside shots against Orleman. New York doing a nice job defensively amid the crease, but give credit to Halifax excelling from the outside. Nungo Thompson adds another into his account this year, and it's 10-7 Halifax. In a win-and-you're-in situation that the Thunderbird fans have to love that around the NLL. Picked up there by Campbell for Halifax. See how New York responds early here in half number 2. Across the midway line over to Bushi, who has 2 in this game, trying to jet past McRae, who does better there. Shanks looking for 4. That was tapped down. He fell to the floor there, and he's all right. Picks up his stick, back in play. Stick lost there by Bushi. Good forechecking here for the Riptide in this defensive surge by McRae. Defensive players are out there getting set for Halifax as Orleman picks it up. Again, congratulations to Orleman setting the rookie record in saves. Again, Teat setting the rookie record 1 point away, in fact, as he's on the ball here from 100 points in the season. It's a little bit high from Teat. And remember, Teat missed a few games early on in the year due to health and safety protocols. Trying to get Lomas here in that cross-floor pass. Instead, Halifax picks it up. Good spin move there by Barclay in his 5th game. And bounces that over here into the offensive third here for Gillies. Gillies going to come off here for Evans. Evans in possession now. Keogh running the middle this time. Back to Peterson. To the left side, Fennell. Fennell over on that bouncer there from Keogh, a little bit high. Loose ball belongs to New York. Down by 3. Thornburg in possession. Fox in possession this time over Withers. Tries to go low for his second. His foot was in the crease. Nullify the opportunity. And back to the Thunderbirds here in Campbell. So Campbell out of Elmira College going to come off really strong, as I mentioned. Not just loose balls. Going to go for 1,100 last game in his career, but also what he does defensively with his presence, whether it be Hill or Bowl. Halifax trying to feed that inside to Shanks. Edwards trying to get it towards the mid-boards that time. McRae also helping out as well. And Shanks, who Peter mentioned, has to be really pleased with the start of this game in that halftime interview. Mike Kersey talking to him prior to the broadcast, said didn't really need to line up the message that this was a win-and-you're-in situation and things haven't been going great for Halifax, having dropped 6 of 7. The guys know where the Thunderbirds stands. They know they need to get back to when they were winning 8 of 9 to start the year, and they're accomplishing that tonight. Armstrong tried to feed that forward. That was tipped by Teat. Will stay on this end here for Evans. Evans trying to go 1v2 around Storos, that time trying to go low. Foot was in the crease for Shawnee Evans. Did not play last game again against Toronto, back in the lineup. Top 10 goals in NLL history. That veteran presence into the dressing room there and onto the floor for Halifax. Teat trying to get 100. Bold makes the stop, who's still in there for the Thunderbirds. Again, just tuning in, Aaron Bold making the start instead of Warren Hill tonight. And for Coach Kersey's team, as Gillies is going to come off on a change. Evans over to Peterson. Peterson cutting inside, back to Evans with that side-winding shot. Keogh trying to pick up the loose change. Evans gobbles it up here for Halifax on the fresh 30, bouncing it over to Peterson, who has 2 in the game. Thought about going behind the back, instead gets it over to Evans. They're going to operate the other side of the floor, and Eric Fennell. Fennell over to Keogh. Keogh, right side overhand shot. That's a little bit wide. Thompson can keep this in play into the New York bench. We'll go back to the Riptide. New York looking for their 7th overall win this year in the chase for the championship. It's a win and continue for the Riptide. If they fall tonight, they will be officially eliminated from the playoffs. In second year of existence for these teams. Another opportunity on a 2v1 here. Magnum's trying to go low there. Orleman got just enough with the right pad. Nice stop there from Orleman. Look, Magnum and Colton Armstrong, the two have looked very good in transition, especially setting the tone defensively, making the stop, and then in possession the length of the floor. It's been great. Bushi trying to get the hat trick, and Orleman rifles that. The long outlet from Orleman over the Rajan, looking to score in 3 straight games, a little bit high there. Digby was there for the rebound, lost it in stride, and back the opposite way for Fennell and this Halifax team. Fennell's going to come off and get a breather over to Peterson now. Shanks. Right side for Thompson with a goal in this game. He lost it. Here comes Damon Edwards the opposite way. Negated for just a moment. And a call coming up from Ian Garrison. Will take us to a timeout with 9:37 to go in the third. Halifax enjoying a 10-7 lead. Here's the call.
2-minute holding the stick.
So it's a holding the stick call. And now we will go to our break. Halifax enjoying a 3-goal surge. They have the lead over the Riptide early on in the third. Early on in the third, Halifax enjoying a 10-7 lead over the Riptide. We're pleased to be joined tonight by New York Riptide radio broadcaster Peter Schwartz, also between the benches for us on TV. Peter, could share from perspective on the February 4th game. You were on the call for that matchup when Halifax won by 3. What's the difference between that matchup and the one tonight here at the barn?
Well, Dave, when you think back to that February 4th matchup, these two teams were at the point going in different directions. Halifax, they were being displaced from their home. They had to play home games with no fans in Hamilton, Ontario, and that win, 13-10 win over the Riptide on that night, got them kick-started on a 5-game winning streak. They have since lost 6 of their last 7. As for the Riptide, they were in a point that night where they were struggling, couldn't buy many wins, and after the trade deadline, they were able to get hot. They hung in games, they won some games to stay in the playoff race, so we're really seeing a tale of 2 parts of the season for both of these teams here tonight.
Peter, thank you very much, and thanks for your perspective. As Robertson's in the box for New York for holding the stick, so the second power play this evening for Halifax, up by 3, looking to add another. Working on this a lot in shoot-around on these 5v4 situations. That was poor execution that time. New York trying to get it shorthanded, and Damon Edwards will. Keogh with a good forecheck. Shanks keeping this alive over to Fennell. Great work there for Halifax, and stick taps there for the Thunderbirds from their bench. Minute 27 to go here in the man-up situation. Second power play here for Halifax. New York has killed. Trying to kill another one here for their 2 for 4 of the man up. New York trying to get this back. forecheck immediately by Shanks, and Robertson has it here for the Riptide shorthanded. Robertson's out there the length of the floor along with Dan McCray. 39 and a rolling clock to go here in the third in the last home regular season game for the Riptide this year. Team tried to skip that across over to Lopez. Picked up that time from Luke Magnan. Halifax going to come the opposite way. Fling right down the middle that time. Magnan still in possession past Teat, who's still out there trying to ride this. Teat gets it back, trying to take matters in his own hands, shorthanded. Teat still in possession amid ball. Teat, and that one was high. So close there, shorthanded for Teat, looking for 100 points in his rookie season. Just what he can do on both ends of the field. Just remarkable and a lot of fun to watch for all lacrosse fans. Not just what he does in the indoor game, but also the outdoor game as well. 13 seconds to go here on the power play for Halifax. Jamison tried to corral that into the pocket. Instead it came out there. Fidel tried to go behind the back. It's picked up here on the opposite way for New York. Peterson trying to slow down New York in sundown that time. Fox will get it back. Robertson comes out of the box, and we're even strength at 5v5. New York kills off its first power play tonight. Halifax is 1 for 2 on the man-up situations. Kiernan goes low and scores! Connor Kiernan gets on the board, and the Riptide needed that. They're down now by just 2 goals, 10-8. Great look for Teat over to Kiernan, and congratulations to Jeff Teat with that assist, which would be his 7th. He has 100 points in the National Lacrosse League as a rookie, the first ever rookie to get to 100. Connor Kiernan gets the goal. It's number 34. Again, Kiernan has scored in every game this year. Teat gets 100 points, the 7 assists for Jeff tonight. And again, a 10-8 game. Storos gets that back over to Lomas. Trying to score right off of that chance. Teat in possession. Trying to get that first goal for him tonight. He's been great, as mentioned. Look at 2 guys around Jeff Teat. Hard hit. It was clean according to the officials. Big hit by Withers that time. Who's the maestro at the dot as well. Stepped up big defensively there like he's done all year for Halifax. A possession back to Evans. Evans retains it over to the opposite wing. It over to Cody Jamison. Jamison back to Peterson. Swims over Ronjon. That was dislodged. And a breakaway opportunity for the Riptide here. McCray. Now a 2v1. McCray keeps it in his stick and stopped there by Bold. Big outlet, and it's picked off nicely by Ronjon for New York. 6:15 to go in the third in a 2-goal game. It's gone back and forth since the start. Halifax ended the first half scoring 4 of 5 goals. New York in possession. Teat couldn't get that into the pocket because Gillies had a better idea and got a stick on it. And a 3v2 that time. Now a 3v3. Boucher trying to get the hat trick. Orleman's there with the stop to his left. Thunderbird in possession on a 3v2, scores! Coast to coast for Jay Thunderbird. And it's now a 1-goal game, 10-9 Halifax. We've seen Thunderbird do this a lot throughout the 2021-22 campaign. And who's now 5th in face-off win percentage. But you see the versatility that he can add on the defensive side, also in transition. One of the veterans and the all-time leaders in face-off wins. Jay Thunderbird gets his 3rd of the year. More importantly, it's now 10-9. The Riptide getting back-to-back goals. And that stops that run from Halifax. Remember, they had their largest lead at 3, 10-7 a few minutes ago. Shanks trying to get his 4th, got his own rebound. Storos is there on the hit behind the cage. Orleman trying to help out too. Hand is up, and we're going to get a call, and a slashing call is going to be on the floor. The Riptide are going to send another one into their penalty box. Will be the 3rd power play tonight for Halifax. Here's the call. It's going to be Brent Noseworthy that goes into the box with a slash. So not the most precious opportunity for the Riptide, who just got 2 in a row. Let's see what Halifax can do. They're 1 for 2 on the power play. That shot over the top by Jamison was negated there nicely by McCray. McCray's trying to try to kill off this penalty here against Noseworthy, and Jeff Teed out there on the floor too. Here's a great look by our crew. Take a look at the slash here. They're calling it against Noseworthy, but I think they missed that. A great shot by our crew. It should be, it looks like, against Storos, 13 of New York. Thanks so much for the crew for pointing that out. So I think a little misidentification there. Nonetheless, it is Noseworthy serving the penalty, but probably should have been called against Storos. Yeah, Noseworthy was really stunned when he was sent into the box, no question. So here's Halifax trying to add another. Peterson at the top. There's an opportunity to make this 11-9 game. Good hit there on the corner there as Edwards went towards the mid-boards. And I mentioned the forechecking, and we've seen that a lot. I know Halifax coming in as that DNA, they're very physical, but you're seeing that being exuded tonight in a win-and-you're-in situation as that rings off the pipe there from Shanks. Boy, what a game Austin Shanks has had. As a hat trick in this game, nobody's provided at Ohio State in the outdoor game, but the same can be said in what he delivers on the indoor game as well. 2008 All-Rookie team for Shanks. Play defensively by New York. Possession, though, saved here for Halifax. Keogh trying to score this power play goal, and Shanks gets it done and delivers for Halifax. He's got 4 in the game. And Austin Shanks makes it 11-9 Thunderbirds. Whether he goes to the corner, to the side of Orleman, or downstairs, we've seen the gamut from Austin Shanks in this game. Went low to that back pipe and beats Orleman there. Too many opportunities on the man up, and it's a second power play goal tonight for Halifax. Negates the 2-0 run for the Riptide, and it's now 11-9. Again, if Halifax wins the game tonight, they have clinched a playoff spot in the chase for the championship. Crawford trying to get his 4th. See if they got Crawford back going offensively as 3 in the game. Teague, oh, he shoveled that behind the back. Lomas looking for Crawford a little bit upstairs. Loose ball towards the middle of the floor, and the over and back, the possession. We'll go back to the Riptide, but first a timeout with 3 minutes exactly to go in the third. Halifax is up by 2, 11-9 in this game over the Riptide. 18 minutes away from punching their ticket to the playoffs. Get game day ready and shop your favorite team's jerseys and merchandise. Head to NLLshop.com to get all your National Lacrosse League and team gear today. We're at Fan Appreciation Night at Nassau Coliseum. Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew, as New York is trying to win its 7th game of the year. And with more, well, the last penalty sequence that we saw, here's Peter Schwartz downstairs. Peter.
All right, Dave, during the last timeout, Riptide head coach Dan Ladouceur having a chat with one of the officials about that last penalty call. Obviously, he didn't like it. He was also talking about some other calls and non-calls from earlier in the game. The referee at the end of the conversation walked away and told him to calm down. So things heating up down here on the field as we head towards the end of the third quarter. Dave.
Thanks, Peter. Let's see what Shanks can do. He has 4 the game here. Goes low, number 5 for Austin Shanks. What can't you do tonight? A 5 spot for Shanks. It's back to a 3-goal advantage for Halifax, and the Thunderbirds lead 12-9. How about the performance of Shanks there, getting past McCray? Had a goal and 2 assists last game. Did not score against Calgary 2 games ago. And Shanks has been consistent. Some can say that I've been following Halifax closely, that the production has waned a little bit. I know he only had 4 goals in the last 6 games entering play tonight, but he is getting on the board lately. And how about the performance tonight? Micah Kersey has told him to step up, and he's doing it. Says they've told our Peter Schwartz downstairs, like a playoff game tonight for Halifax, a win and you're in situation. They're up by 3. How about them winning the loose balls as well at Halifax? Led by Armstrong in possession, call away from the ball. Garrison's all over that as Crawford collided with Magnan, and Crawford is in possession. Check that, it was Ron John and Magnan, but here's Teat nonetheless for the Riptide. Teat trying to get his first goal, getting a 7 assists, breaking that rookie points and assist total. Gillies off the long outlet from Bold, and Orleman smothers that for the Riptide. So what New York can do here with Teat and company. Digby's back out there as well for the Riptide. Down by 3, Teat running middle, stride for stride with him is Campbell. Lomas has a hat trick, and that's a little bit wide. Nearly into the bench of Halifax. Lomas does well to keep it on this end to negate the over and back. His foot, though, was on the line, and possession's going to go back to the Thunderbirds. Georgia is winning that game over Panther City as well around the NLL in this Week 21 docket, as Georgia still trying to maintain a playoff spot. Right now, they are the 4 seed in the East. Peterson in possession. It was Evans a moment ago over to Fennell. Thompson working with him on the pick and roll. It's Fennell a little bit wide, nearly crossed the line, but Orleman sold that the whole way across the end board. Well done from Orleman. 45 seconds to go here in the third. Crawford 1v2, thought about it. Now we'll wait for his offensive players to come out there on the floor. He does have a hat trick in this game like Lomas. Fresh 30 here for the Riptide. Teat in possession amid Armstrong. Teat, Conceal inside, just missed the target there of Bold. Over and back. We'll go back to Halifax. Check how close this one was to going in off of the backboard there and Orleman. And Steve saw it at the right time and makes the stop there. Nearly was the 13th goal. 19.1 seconds to go here in the third with Halifax up by 3. Peterson and company in possession. Jamison, they're going to wait for the last shot perhaps. Jamison under 10 seconds to go. Peterson, 5v5 right now. Peterson over to Cody. Jamison over the top twister. Orleman was there. The next shot by Theo was denied by Orleman. And Thompson is a little bit hurt here at the tail end. You see him down there as a goal in this game. Hopefully he'll be all right as the third quarter comes to a close as Shanks and Peterson look on. And for the Riptide and Steve Orleman, they trail going into the fourth quarter. We'll check in on Thompson as we segue from the third to the fourth, and the start of the fourth quarter with Halifax leading is coming up after the break. Start of the fourth quarter from Long Island. A look at Thompson, middle of your screen, 19 in the white jersey for Halifax amid a slew of players for the Riptide. Again, Thompson was down at the tail end of the third. He did walk under his own power and is back towards the bench of Halifax. And Jameson going to have this chance. And Thompson just in a scrum there with the Riptide. And Noseworthy, he went right to the floor, but he is all right. And that's good to see as the Riptide dancers are out there on the floor. Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz, our entire crew from the Coliseum as we start quarter number 4. As the Riptide are down by 3, looking live at Georgia against Panther City. While Thompson, a couple goals in this game. Georgia is up 6-5 as Panther City just down by 1. Still in the hunt out of the West to get that last playoff spot. You see that Thompson is all right for Halifax. Panther City looking for their 8th win this year. Again, Panther City, Saskatchewan, Philly, and New York are still alive. Currently coming into the action in week 21, Albany occupied that last playoff spot. Overall tiebreakers are head-to-head win percentage between the teams, win percentage against common opponents, and then head-to-head goal differential. So the disparity of the shots favoring Halifax as we begin the 4th from the Coliseum. Halifax is 15 minutes away from going to the playoffs. A win and you're in situation for the Thunderbirds. They're in possession with Thompson, who was down. He's back on the floor. Dominy all over him. Storos a little bit late defensively, and Peterson scores! That's a hat trick for Clark Peterson, the Cornell product. And Halifax is enjoying its largest lead of the game. They're up by 4, 13-9. How about the ball movement and spacing tonight for the Thunderbirds too? And I would say defensively, it hasn't been the strongest performance on the rotation for the back. Look at kind of there's nobody near the anchors on the right or the left side of the crease. And I understand that Riptide defenders are out man-marking the players at the top of the zone. I get that. But you can see a lot of space around Orleman tonight. You know, a lot of these Halifax players have beaten Orleman from the outside too, but you're seeing that space conceded. It results in a goal there for Peterson with his 3rd. Tied down by 4. And feed that in the middle to a cutting Sundown. Bold picks it up. And how about the performance of Bold, keeping it under 10 for a lethal New York offensive team. Campbell in possession here for the Thunderbirds. They'll come off on a change. Jameson back out there running middle, this time for Halifax. McRae out there defensively. Back to Jameson, still looking for his first goal tonight. To the left-hand side, Peterson. Marinier was there towards the corner. And again, there's those loose balls won by Halifax. Thompson streaking in. Orleman makes the stop with his right blocker. Back the opposite way to Damon Edwards now. Crawford has a hat trick, hasn't scored in this second half, still in possession. Over 1, trying to get over 2, and Crawford beats both and Bold for the goal. Number 4 is Crawford's back in the lineup, and it's a 10 spot for the Riptide, a 13-10 game. How about the work rate of Caleb Crawford amid a slew of Halifax defenders there? This is what the veteran does well, taking on Gillies that time, and Smith goes low on Bold. Almost as if he was faking the pass towards the middle of the floor, and Crawford scores yet again for the Riptide. Number 4 of the evening, and it's back down to a 3-goal game. The chase for the championship continuing across the league. New York needs to win to continue their playoff hopes. Teat looking for his first goal tonight. He has 7 assists in this game. Rolls it over, looking for Lomas, who also has a hat trick. Armstrong was there defensively. Teat has a multitude of points over the last 3 games, including a 10-point game in the win over Rochester last game. Thompson. And 28 points over the last 3, 2 10-point games in a row for Jeff T. It's fascinating to watch him flourish. Another opportunity here for Halifax, and they score yet again. What a move behind the net, and Keogh gets the goal. It's the 14th tonight for Halifax, and I mentioned that space being conceded around the crease for the Riptide. Micah Kersey's enjoying this lead. It's back up to 4. How about Keogh? Looked like it's a missed assignment. Edwards was marking that back pipe. And Keogh, great recognition on a beautiful feed as well from his teammate to score there. 14th goal of the season. It's 14-10 Halifax. Thornburg got that over to Dominic. There's that forechecking, as I mentioned, the physicality. Look at Bold also coming out as well. Armstrong looking really big defensively there. What a stand defensively by Armstrong on that possession. Barclay was out there too in his 5th game played, and Barclay did well in his 2nd year with Halifax to deny the Riptide. Chance here for Boucher, trying to go short side. Jamison picks up the loose change. Another opportunity for Halifax. There's the dunk on Orleman. Hit behind the net. We'll go back the opposite way to Robertson. To see the best highlights, features, and content from around the National Lacrosse League, make sure to follow the NLL on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. A couple minutes into our 4th quarter, Dave Little, Peter Schwartz between the benches. Our entire crew from the Coliseum. Tide trying to win and keep their playoff hopes alive. Again, Halifax in the chase for the championship. A win and they clinch a playoff spot. Right now they're 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Tyson Bell in possession. Evans trying to get his first tally tonight. Back over to Peterson, who has a hat trick in this game. Fennell's done a nice job spacing the floor. They get to the middle, and Keogh, who just scored for the Thunderbirds. Fennell trying to take on 2 inside, still in possession. Thompson over to Evans behind the back. Orleman wasn't fooled over the Riptide. Lomas, opposite side over to T. Getting it over to the right this time, and Fox. Fox behind the cage there, lost it in stride over Gillies. Fox trying to get his 2nd in the game, right over there on the twister. It's Crawford yet again. It's 5 goals for Callum Crawford back in the lineup. And it's back down to a 3-goal game. How about Callum Crawford asserting himself in this game? And watch this pass from Fox, nearly a no-look pass. And Crawford with a little baby twister. That time past Bold. Here come the Riptide at home. So we've seen 5 goals from Austin Shanks on the Halifax behalf, and 5 on the opposite side for Crawford for New York. 10:30 to go in regulation. 14-11. Halifax leading by 3. Has the possession here, led by their head coach in Micah Kersey. Peterson to the top. Borgatti on the defensive effort here for the Riptide. Shanks. They opt for Jamison. Jamison towards the middle, behind the back at a streaking Shanks, who wasn't ready for it. Here comes Ranjan the opposite way. Boy, this would be huge for the Riptide before the media timeout to get this down to a 2-goal game. Plenty of time to go in regulation. Nonetheless, here for Digby, hasn't scored tonight. Teed off the 1-timer, that misses. Teague gets it back here for New York. Has options over to Digby, coming from Colorado. Overhead shot. Gillies is there, here for Halifax. And here come the Thunderbirds, spurring in transition. Osick in possession, man, flying out the door is Evans trying to go low. Orleman got just enough with his stick in the pocket. Held that one and prevented the goal from Sean Evans. 9:20 and a turning clock to go here for New York, down by 3. Lomas is back out there offensively. Teat, overhand shot that time, and Bold made the stop, got just enough. Picked up by Bell, who's going to roll it over to Campbell. I would say the forechecking, physicality, and also the versatility with their offense. We talked with Coach Accursi getting the production balance of the righties and lefties to open up the show, and I think you're seeing that tonight from this Halifax team. Jamison gonna wind and fire, and that's a little bit wide. Trying to get his own miss to prevent the over and back in his stick. And it was Fennell, actually, that causes the over and back. That will take us to immediate timeout. 8:43 to go in regulation with the Riptide down by 3. Need a lot of big goaltending down the stretch from Steve Orleman. Stopping Evans here, but his Riptide are down by 3 goals to the Thunderbirds.
What is belief? Nathan McKinnon? At 14, he wasn't wishing he'd make it to the NHL. He believed that he would. So while other kids were playing video games, he was putting in the work to make his dream come true. Guaranteed Rate believes in your dreams. That's why we treat everyone like we treat our own family and work extra hard to get you the lowest low rate possible. Because if you believe, you will.
Let's show the world what it means to be a fan. The world's largest collection of fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah! Now you're winning with the King Sportsbooks. Come on.
The NLL on ESPN is brought to you by NLLshop.com, the Fanatics experience. Officially license everything. By Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate, believe you will. And by BetMGM, the official sportsbook of the NLL. Get the BetMGM app today. Now you are winning with the king of sportsbooks. Please bet responsibly. With the Statue of Liberty in the background. And in nearby Long Island, Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz with you. 8:43 to go in regulation. Halifax is up by 3. New York is inching closer. Peter Schwartz is downstairs between the benches. Peter, what's your perspective on this back and forth game tonight?
Well, I think it's been a tremendous contest, Dave. One of the best games, I think, in the NLL this season, back and forth with so much on the line for both of these teams. Halifax obviously has been struggling during the last 6 or 7 games, and they need a win to punch their ticket. But for the Riptide, this has been playoff mode for them for most of the season to try and stay in the game. And down 3 goals with a little over 8 minutes to go. Some might think the Riptide might have some trouble coming back, but this is a team that even when they were losing games early in the season, they were scoring goals in bunches and getting back into games that they were down by multiple goals. So this game far from over in terms of a New York perspective because of the offensive firepower that they have.
Thank you so much, Peter. A chance for Teen, and he scores his first goal tonight, accompanied by his 7 assists. More importantly, it pinballs the lead to 2, and it's 14-12 Halifax. Teener gets the goal, his 35th of the year. Good feed from Digby. And again, Jeff T, well over 100 points, the first rookie in the history of the National Lacrosse League to do so. Set the records earlier tonight in overall points by a rookie and overall assists. Gets number 35 as mention of the year. It's his first goal tonight, coming off back-to-back double-digit point performances against Buffalo and Rochester. And as Peter stated, we still have a game, and one of the best this season. Halifax, a win-and-you're-in scenario. Evans in possession on that forecheck by Thunderbirds. Skipped across over to Fennell. Try to jet inside. Robertson's there stride for stride as Evans tried to go low. Orleman made the stop. Keogh salvaged the possession, and a fresh 30 here for Halifax. Fennell has it. Big stop here for the Riptide. Robertson there on the forecheck that dislodged. Orleman picks it up nicely for New York. Over to Robertson yet again. And flying out the O-door here for the Riptide. Robertson getting his options there. What a play by Gillies defensively. Boy, he's been active all over the floor for Halifax. They get it back before T can get there. A 3-on-1 for Halifax the opposite way. Shanks trying to get number 6, but Orleman wasn't fooled. We have end-to-end action here. Edwards in a 2v1. Edwards bouncing shot, whistled wide. Still Crawford gets it back. He has 5 goals tonight for the Riptide. Here's the stop there on Orleman on the opposite end. A huge save there from Steve. Crawford went right at goal. Bold made the stop. Battle forward towards the quarter. Crawford trying to get there. A stick is loose. There from the Halifax perspective. Bell trying to get it as well. Backing up Armstrong. Picked up by Withers in Halifax. A little over 6 minutes to go in regulation. Thunderbirds are up by 2. A win would get them into the playoffs. Thompson in possession. That's a little bit high. Scooped up here by Borgatti and New York. And over to Ranjan. And as Peter has mentioned, we've seen the Riptide come back. Can they do it again? Teat was marked tightly by Campbell. Nice play by Campbell amid the crease of Bold. The Riptide have had the lead heading into the fourth quarter. Really, the MO has been trying to keep it. It's a little bit different from the start of the year for New York. That's attested to why they have won 4 of the last 6, as the 2 losses in that stretch to Philadelphia and Colorado. Jamison out there on the opposite side with the possession for Halifax. Here's a seam for Evans, goes low, and a stop there from Orleman. Outlet quickly over to Robertson. Robertson scampering up the floor. 5 minutes to go in regulation and a 2-goal game. Bounces it over to Digby, across the tee, who just scored for the Riptide. Kiernan has a goal tonight. Bell charged ahead. Kiernan nearly fell. Because he stumbled there, Digby couldn't corral. Here's the breakaway opportunity on the opposite way for Hasek has won tonight. Man flying out the O-door there, and what a stop by Edwards, who lost his helmet there. Nice play by Damon Edwards that time over Boucher. And Ranjan to the floor as well for the Riptide 2. That was amid Armstrong. It will take us to a timeout. How about the play of Damon Edwards losing his helmet there and keeping this a 2-goal game amid Steve Orleman. He has to love that, as it's 14-12 with 4:26 to go. Edwards with the physicality. Back in a moment.
Welcome to the National Lacrosse League.
Well, do you think we waited long enough? Well, let's enjoy some great lacrosse here.
Here we go, game on.
Teat with a seam on the right. Here comes Teat looking for his first career goal.
An amazing goal by Natico.
The player uncorks and scores!
What a night for the rookie.
Harris, Dawson, shoots,
Are you kidding me?
Travis Cornwall with the first goal in franchise history.
Rolling towards the top. This is Eric Fennell.
Here we go.
Final seconds, Berg, he shoots. It's a goal! He scores! Here's the chase for the championship, and if the playoffs started tonight, because Albany has beaten Philadelphia twice, they had that last spot against Colorado as 1 in the West, Buffalo with 1 in the East. Halifax is not clinched yet. If they hold on tonight with a little over 4 minutes left, they will get into the playoffs. Georgia right now is leading Panther City. As for that race for the final spot, it is teams like Albany, Philadelphia. You could also mention New York and Saskatchewan as well. And again, because Albany has defeated the Wings twice, they have the tiebreaker and handle that 4th spot in the West. See what happens for Dan Ladisser's team. Again, they need to win from New York's perspective to keep their playoff hopes alive going into the matchup at Albany next week. Here we go for the tail end of the contest. Dave Leto, Peter Schwartz on the call. Shot denied by Orleman. Comes back the opposite way for the Riptide. Robertson over to Teat out the outdoor. What a blocker save there by Bowl. Boy, Jeff Teat was on the doorstep of getting his 2nd goal. Really in as many minutes. And a heck of a stop there from Bowl. Possession will stay because the ball went to the netting here for New York. Crawford with 4 minutes to go. Riptide down by 2. He has 5 goals in the game. What a play there from Magnan that time. But he's going to be the culprit for a hold. It's going to be a holding the stick call against Magnum. And he's going to the box with 3:56 to go in regulation. So the holding the stick call in New York will go on the power play where they've been one of the best in man-up situations. There's the call with Crawford in possession. And look, you can't fault Magnum. Of course you can for the penalty, but not going after Crawford, who's been red hot in this game. Crawford tries to get it back. What a kick save there. Sliding to his left. Bowl. Let's see if Halifax can kill off this power play here for the Riptide, up by 2. Withers still in possession here. No hurry here for the Thunderbirds. 3:30 away from punching their ticket into the playoffs. Marinier on the defensive effort here. Chance there for Keogh, trying to get that shorthanded goal. Borgatti was there instead. Here come the Riptide looking for the power play goal. Edwards will get the offensive players flying out that front door. Let's see what they do under offensive coordinator Jason Crosby. T. Over to Crawford. Crawford with options back over to Teat, who's at the top. They're 2 of 5 with a man up, and Teat gets the power play goal! He's got a hat trick tonight on this historic night for Jeff Teat. More importantly, it's a 1-goal game, 14-13 in favor of Halifax. Huge goal for the rookie Jeff Teat. So Jeff Teat gets the goal at the top. You see for the box defensively, and he gets that in the upper corner past Bowl. Teat adds another in this game, and it's now 14-13. See how Halifax responds with 2:50 to go. Teat watching from his bench here, see if his defenders can make a stand here. Storos on the defensive effort. Thompson whizzes that across towards the crease, and the low shot's in! What a goal by Boucher. That's a hat trick from Chris Boucher tonight. Halifax back up by 2. Around the cage, and Boucher to the top of the crease. Past Noseworthy, Thornburg, then Orleman. And scores and nets the hat trick tonight for Micah Kersey's team. It's 15-13. '23rd of the year there for Boucher, the Burlington, Ontario native. And it's Thornburg against Withers that time. Can't state it enough, a huge goal there for Halifax. Widens the crowd a little bit here at the Coliseum. Plenty of time for the Riptide. 2:25 to go. Going to be a 6-on-5 for a moment, then Orleman goes back towards his cage. No delayed call out there. Team in possession, tries to go low. Bold makes the big stop. Hasek towards the midboards. Digby with the fight there. The same with Lomas. Picked up by Gillies and Halifax over to Campbell. Now searching for Bell. 2:05 to go for Halifax. Trying to punch their ticket into the playoffs. And that would eliminate the New York Riptide from playoff contention in year 2 of the organization. Evans trying to take down Borgatti that time. 1:45 to go. The help from Keogh. Let's see if they get a pick and roll this time. Evans back over to Keogh. That was tip night defensive play there from New York. And back over to the Riptide. Down by 2. 90 seconds to play in regulation. Teets out there. Team, in fact, is looking for a hat trick. He has 2 goals in the game. Trying to get that third here with 1:20 to go. Team got the seal from Sundown. Campbell charged to him on the switch defensively. That bounces right back to Kiernan for the dunk and Ball. And it's going to come out. His foot was in the crease. Over to Bell this time. 1:10 to go. Bell with an open cage. Bangs it home. Pass Robertson for Tyson Bell. Orleman was out and Bell delivers. 16-13 Halifax. Yeah, that's a huge outlet pass right there from Orleman and the back, and he was a little bit late. It was Bold who makes the outlet over to Bell. And check that it was Hasek who makes the play amid Bold. Graham Hasek, great find down the length of the floor over to Tyson Bell with his 4th goal of the season. First in this game. 106, a huge gap now at 3 for Halifax. And now the Thunderbirds are a minute away from going to the postseason. Shouldn't be in a hurry here if you keep in mind the 30-second shot clock. 10 to shoot here for the Thunderbirds. New York's going to get the possession back. A little bit of a numbers game. See if New York can work quick here. 35 seconds to go in regulation with a Riptide down by 3. Team, 28 seconds left. Over to Crawford looking for 6. Bold makes the big stop. Orleman's in the cage this time. And out to Hasek. 17 seconds to go here for the Thunderbirds. And with the shot clock unplugged, Halifax is going to earn their 10th win of the season. They snap a 2-game losing skid. More importantly, the Thunderbirds are going to the NLL playoffs. They clinch a postseason berth tonight thanks to a 16-13 road win over the New York Riptide. And with that win, they snap the Riptide's 2-game win streak as well. But the night belongs to Halifax as they clinch a playoff spot. What a game by Bold as well, holding the Riptide at 13. At one point, for multiple minutes, he kept this Riptide team down below 10 goals. And you can see the coaching staff loves the effort that he provided with the defensive effort. Now let's go to our Fanatics turning point of the game. It was a huge goal to make it a 15-13 game by Boucher getting a hat trick that time. Watch him go around the crease here. Thompson with a beautiful feed over to Boucher there, beating Orleman for that goal in our Fanatics turning point of the game. Riptide a little bit late defensively. Kind of was a theme throughout this broadcast around the crease of Orleman. But congratulations to the Halifax Thunderbirds. Go into the playoffs. We'll wrap up this Halifax win over the Riptide tonight. Our action continues right after these words. A 16-13 win for Halifax.
What is belief? Nathan McKinnon? At 14, he wasn't wishing he'd make it to the NHL. He believed that he would. So while other kids were playing video games, he was putting in the work to make his dream come true. Guaranteed Rate believes in your dreams. That's why we treat everyone like we treat our own family and work extra hard to get you the lowest low rate possible. Because if you believe, you will.
Let's show the world what it means to be a fan. The world's largest collection of fan gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah! Now you're winning with the King Sportsbooks. Come on.
High fives all around for Steve Orleman despite the loss tonight on Fan Appreciation Night. The night belongs to Halifax, a 16-13 win over the Riptide. Downstairs to Peter Schwartz with Austin Shanks. Peter.
Dave, thank you. And Austin, first of all, congratulations to you and the Halifax Thunderbirds on making the playoffs. It's been an up and down season at times for your franchise. So to get to this point where you know you're going to be in the NLL playoffs, how does it feel?
I mean, this is a good step. We need to get hot here. We need to win next weekend and just go into playoffs with a good attitude. And all we did was work hard tonight. We worked hard for 60 minutes. We need to keep continuing to do that.
Now, you told me at halftime this was a playoff game. In essence, for both teams, it was a playoff game, and you treated it that way in the second half, and you're able to pull away from New York and get the win tonight.
Absolutely. We just came together as a group. Like you said, we've had some big struggles lately. So to have a big game tonight, everyone contributing, and Boley had a great game. It's awesome. We need to keep it rolling.
You're in the playoffs now. You know you're going to the postseason, but how important is it to finish up strong in your final regular season game?
It's essential. We have to do it. We have to finish strong. We need to go and get another win next weekend and keep getting better and better.
Austin, thank you so much. Congratulations on going to the playoffs, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Dave.
Peter, thanks so much. Great job tonight as well. Peter Schwartz with 5 goals and 3 assists for Austin Shanks. So Halifax, as Peter mentioned, does clinch a playoff spot. They are right now in the 3 seed with a 10-7 record behind Buffalo and Toronto. Georgia right now is battling Panther City. New York, consequently, is eliminated from playoff contention in year 2 of the organization. Certainly nothing to take away from the Riptide standpoint now at 6-11 this year. New York now has won 4 of the last 7 games and snapping a 2-game win streak. Panther City and Georgia are taking place right now on ESPNU. And in that game, it's 7-all between the two. Caputo has a goal along with Malcolm. And Lyle Thompson has a couple in this game. A huge one for Georgia, trying to hang on in this one as Panther City still trying to keep its playoff hopes alive, as Albany at this juncture has that last spot in the NLL chase for the championship. So we'll see what happens when it comes to teams like Panther City, Albany, and Philadelphia vying for that last playoff spot. Well, that will do it tonight. Congratulations to Halifax, clinching a playoff berth thanks to a 16-13 win over the New York Riptide. For producer Scott Zolatoro, Peter Schwartz, and our entire fantastic crew, I'm Dave Leno. You've been watching the National Lacrosse League on ESPN, MSG, and CTV. Have a great night, everyone.